Fighters, bombers, drones. From the legends of World War II to the quantum future, this is the complete arsenal of democracy. Let's start with the pre-war and World War II fighters. The planes that saved the world. P-26 Peashooter, the first step, America's first all-metal monoplane fighter. It looked like a toy, but it paved the way for the legends that followed. P-40 Warhawk, the flying tiger, the shark-mouthed icon. Flown by volunteers in China, it proved that American grit could stand up to the Japanese Zero. P-39 Airacobra, the tank buster, unusual and deadly. It had the engine behind the pilot and a massive 37mm cannon firing through the nose. P-51 Mustang, the Cadillac of the skies. Fast, beautiful, and deadly. It had the range to escort bombers all the way to Berlin and back, breaking the Luftwaffe's back. P-47 Thunderbolt, the Jug, a flying tank. Massive and heavy, 8.50 caliber machine guns tore targets apart, and it could survive damage that would disintegrate any other plane. P-38 Lightning, the fork-tailed devil, 2 engines, twin booms, and a central nacelle. It was the aircraft of choice for America's top aces in the Pacific. F-4U Corsair, Whistling Death, the gull-winged terror of the Pacific. Flown by the Marines, it destroyed the enemy with speed and raw horsepower. F-6F Hellcat, the ace maker, built to counter the Zero. Rugged and simple, it accounted for 75% of all aerial victories in the Pacific theater. P-61 Black Widow, the night fighter, the first U.S. aircraft designed specifically for night combat, hunting in the dark with early radar. Next are the World War II bombers and transports, the heavy hitters. B-17 Flying Fortress, the legend, the symbol of American grit. It took massive punishment over Europe, bringing its crews home when half the plane was shot away. B-24 Liberator, the workhorse, faster and longer ranged than the B-17. It was the most produced American military aircraft in history. B-25 Mitchell, the Raider, the medium bomber that struck back, famous for the Doolittle raid, launching off aircraft carriers to strike Tokyo. A-26 Invader, the Survivor, a fast attack bomber that was so good it served in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. B-29 Superfortress, the end of the war, the most expensive project of World War II, pressurized, high-tech, and the only aircraft in history to drop atomic weapons in combat. C-47 Skytrain, the Goonie Bird, the hero of D-Day. It dropped the paratroopers into Normandy and kept the Allied armies supplied across the globe. Next is the jet age and Korea, breaking the sound barrier. Bell X-1, Glamorous Glennis, the bullet with wings, the experimental rocket plane that allowed Chuck Yeager to become the first human to break the sound barrier. P-80 Shooting Star, the first, America's first operational jet fighter. It ushered the U.S. Air Force into the modern era. F-86 Sabre, the MiG killer, the hero of MiG Alley. In the skies over Korea, it established a legendary kill ratio against the MiG-15. F-84 Thunderjet, the sledgehammer. While the Sabre fought the MiGs, the Thunderjet pounded the ground, carrying heavy payloads to destroy supply lines. F-9F Panther, the Blue Tail, the Navy's first successful carrier jet. Rugged and reliable, it was the star of the movie The Bridges at Toko-Ri. F-82 Twin Mustang, the Double Trouble, the last piston fighter, essentially 2 P-51 fuselages connected by a wing, used as a night fighter in Korea. Next are the Century Series and Cold War Speed, the race to Mach 2, F-100 Super Sabre, the Hun, the first U.S. fighter capable of supersonic speed in level flight, the silver bullet of the early Vietnam War. F-101 Voodoo, the One-O-Wonder. Originally a bomber escort, it found its niche as a supersonic reconnaissance jet, flying fast and low to take photos. F-102 Delta Dagger, the Deuce, the first Delta Wing interceptor. It was designed solely to shoot down Soviet bombers with missiles. F-104 Starfighter, the missile with a man in it, designed for pure speed, razor-thin wings and a rocket-like climb rate, fast but unforgiving. F-105 Thunderchief, the Thud, a massive nuclear bomber forced to dogfight. It flew into the teeth of Vietnam's air defenses, taking heavy losses but delivering the payload. F-106 Delta Dart, the ultimate interceptor, the fastest single-engine jet ever built by the U.S. It guarded American airspace against Soviet bombers for decades. F-89 Scorpion, the nuke shooter, a Cold War interceptor armed with nuclear-tipped air-to-air rockets, designed to wipe out entire formations of Soviet bombers with one shot. Next are the Navy legends and Vietnam workhorses. Carrier power, A-1 Skyraider, the SPAD, propeller plane in the jet age. It flew low and slow to support troops, carrying a toilet bomb in one famous mission just to prove it could carry anything. A-4 Skyhawk, the scooter, small, nimble, and cheap. A favorite of the Navy, it could carry a bomb load equivalent to a World War II B-17. A-6 Intruder, the Iron Tadpole, ugly but effective. The all-weather attack aircraft that delivered heavy payloads in the pitch black of night. A-7 Corsair II, the SLUF, short little ugly feller. It brought digital technology to the cockpit, delivering bombs with incredible accuracy. F-8 Crusader, the last gunfighter, the Navy's prize. While everyone else relied on missiles, the Crusader relied on cannons and pilot skill. F-4 Phantom II, the brick, the triumph of thrust over aerodynamics. It served the Air Force, Navy, and Marines simultaneously. Ugly, loud, and undeniably effective. A-5 Vigilante, the beautiful mistake. Designed as a nuclear bomber, it became the largest and fastest spy plane to ever operate from a carrier deck. Next are the helicopters, rotary wing, the angels on our shoulders. UH-1 Iroquois, the Huey, the sound of Vietnam. It revolutionized warfare, creating the concept of air cavalry. AH-1 Cobra, the snake, the world's first dedicated attack helicopter. Slim and deadly, it protected the Hueys in the jungle. OH-6 Cayuse, the little bird, small, fast, and deadly, used by special forces for insertion and close air support in the tightest urban environments. CH-47 Chinook, the Hook, the heavy lifter, flying since Vietnam and still flying today. If you need to move a howitzer over a mountain, you call the Chinook. CH-53 Sea Stallion, the hurricane maker, the heavy lift king of the Marines. Massive and powerful, it can lift other helicopters and heavy artillery. AH-64 Apache, the tank killer, the most advanced attack helicopter on Earth, armed with Hellfire missiles and a chain gun linked to the pilot's helmet. UH-60 Black Hawk, the workhorse, the replacement for the Huey, fast, armored, and versatile, the backbone of modern Army aviation. V-22 Osprey, the transformer, half plane, half helicopter. The tilt-rotor technology allows the Marines to travel fast like a plane and land anywhere like a chopper. Next are the strategic bombers and spy planes. Global Reach, B-36 Peacemaker, the magnesium monster, 6 propellers, 4 jet engines, the largest piston-engine combat aircraft ever built. B-47 Stratojet, the Pioneer, the plane that defined the look of modern jets. Swept wings and pod engines, the grandfather of all modern airliners. B-52 Stratofortress, the buff, big ugly fat fellow. It has been flying for 70 years and will fly for 30 more. The ultimate symbol of strategic power. B-58 Hustler, the hot rod, the world's first supersonic bomber. It looked like a spaceship and carried a nuke in a pod underneath its belly. U-2 Dragon Lady, the spy, hardest plane to fly. It operates at the edge of space, capturing intelligence while balancing on a knife edge of aerodynamics. Next is the era of dominance, Teen Series. The gold standard, F-14 Tomcat, the fleet defender, the swing-wing icon made famous by Hollywood, capable of engaging 6 targets simultaneously with Phoenix missiles. F-15 Eagle, the undefeated, the perfect fighter, 104 kills, 0 losses. It controls the sky like no other machine in history. F-16 Fighting Falcon, the Viper, the agile multi-role fighter, small, pulling 9 GS, and serving in more air forces than any other modern jet. F/A-18 Hornet and Super Hornet, the Rhino, the Navy's replacement for everything. Reliable and versatile, it became the backbone of carrier aviation. EA-18G Growler, the Jammer, a Super Hornet modified for electronic warfare. It doesn't just shoot down planes, it blinds their radars and shuts down their communications. V-8B Harrier, the Jump Jet, the Marine Corps' magician, capable of taking off vertically to support troops from small ships and clearings. T-38 Talon, the White Rocket, the world's first supersonic trainer. Sleek and fast, it has trained every Air Force ace and NASA astronaut for over 50 years. Next are the support, patrol, and logistics. winning the logistics war. C-130 Hercules, the legend. It can land on dirt, snow, or carriers. It has been hauling troops and cargo since the 1950s. A C-130, the Angel of Death. A C-130 stuffed with artillery. It circles targets at night, raining down 105mm and 40mm shells. C-17 Globemaster III, the Moose, the strategic lifter. It brings tanks and supplies to the front line, anywhere in the world. C-5 Galaxy, the Giant, the largest aircraft in the U.S. inventory. It opens its nose to swallow other planes whole. E-3 Sentry, the AWACS, the flying radar, controls the battle from above, seeing everything for hundreds of miles. E-2 Hawkeye, the quarterback, the eyes of the fleet. With a massive radar dish on its back, it manages the chaos of the battlefield from the deck of a carrier. S-3 Viking, the Hoover, the submarine hunter. Known for the vacuum cleaner sound of its engines, it protected the fleet from threats beneath the waves. P-3 Orion, the sub-killer, a converted airliner turned into a weapon. It patrols the oceans for days at a time, sniffing out enemy submarines. Next are the ground pounders, stealth and future. Total dominance. A-10 Thunderbolt II, the Warthog, built around the GU-8 Avenger gun. It flies low, eats tank rounds, and makes the sound of freedom. F-111 Aardvark, the Pig, the pioneer of swing-wing technology. A fast, low-level striker that could fly blind in any weather. F-117 Nighthawk, the Ghost, the world's first stealth attack aircraft. Angular and strange, it dismantled Baghdad's defenses without being seen. B-1B Lancer, the Bone, the supersonic heavy bomber. Sleek and deadly, carrying the largest internal payload of any U.S. bomber. B-2 Spirit, the Boomerang, the stealth bomber, a flying wing that costs $2 billion, can penetrate anywhere on Earth unseen. F-22 Raptor, the apex predator, the best fighter jet on Earth. Stealth, supercruise, and thrust vectoring. Banned from export because it is too advanced. F-35 Lightning II, the computer, a flying sensor node, connects every asset on the battlefield, sharing targets and threats instantly. MQ-1 Predator and MQ-9 Reaper, the Watchers, the drone revolution, unmanned hunter-killers that changed the nature of warfare forever. X-15, the Rocket, the experimental plane that bridged the gap to space. It flew at Mach 6.7, piloted by astronauts like Neil Armstrong. B-21 Raider, the Future, the successor to the B-2, the most advanced stealth bomber ever created, currently entering service. NGAD, the Unknown, the next generation air dominance, the classified 6th generation fighter that will likely feature laser weapons and drone wingmen.